Know your A plus setups. And when you see your A plus setups, swing the bat hard, put on a lot of risk. It's not acceptable at this firm to miss your A plus trades. It's not acceptable at this firm, at SMB, not to put on the risk that you're supposed to put on your A plus trades.
Hello, and welcome to the Trader's Journey by Investors Underground. In this episode, it's my honor to get the privilege to speak with a trading legend who has helped develop 6, 7, and even 8-figure traders. In addition to being a trader, he's also the co-founder of SMB Capital, one of the leading proprietary trading firms in the world and based in New York City. He's also the esteemed author of the trading classics, One Good Trade and the Playbook. It's my honor to get to introduce Mike Bellafiore. Hello, Mike. Thanks for being here and taking the time to speak with me today.
Yeah, good to see you.
We've been talking back and forth since Traders for a Cause in, I believe, 2017, and you've always given me great advice, ideas for things that I need to think about with my trading. So I'm really excited for the audience to get to hear from you today, and we're going to talk about 10 steps to create a great trader.
That's accurate. Well, it's good to spend some time with you today. I get asked to do lots of podcasts, and I say no to 90% of them. But for you and Investors Underground, let's do it.
It's an absolute honor, Mike. Thank you so much. So, Mike, for the few people who might not know already who you are, I've introduced you, and hopefully you don't have to say too much, but how did you get to the position where you're helping develop 7-figure traders? What is a little bit of the work that you do today?
So I was trading for a prop firm for a while, and then I got this knucklehead idea to start a proprietary trading firm. And I started a prop firm because I noticed that becoming successful, becoming consistently profitable is way harder in 2004, 2005 than when I started in the late 90s. And I saw this opportunity to help reshape prop trading and active trading so that it improved. And I saw this opportunity to do so through education and through training. And I thought I had this crazy idea that I could be the person to do it. And I had value to add in that area. And so I started SMB Capital back in 2005, focusing on helping traders from scratch develop into consistently profitable traders. And I dragged Steve Spencer, my oldest friend from where I grew up on Long Island, Port Jefferson, a little sleepy harbor town on the northern coast of Long Island. And we just started. And now this many years later, we've been fortunate to have been very successful, way more successful than I had hoped when I had this crazy idea to help reshape the industry through helping people become consistently profitable through education. And so we've been around since 2005. We trade stocks, we trade options, we trade futures. We do this as discretionary traders, and we do this also with automation. So you can come to our firm, you can trade as a discretionary trader, any of those products, or you can also trade as an automated trader. And what's unique about our prop firm is we have our own technology. We have our own proprietary technology. You can't trade on our technology unless you trade at our firm. We're not trading on off-the-shelf technology. The technology offers traders the ability to build custom filters. It offers them the ability to build automated models. Our trading platform is robust. It's not going to go down when all the volume comes into the marketplace, which is going to help traders make a lot more on the biggest days. We've got support to help people with technology. We're investing lots of money month over month, year over year into our platform, our discretionary platform and our automated platform. There's unique order types and algos and functionality only for firm traders that the technology allows traders to tap into. You can build an automated strategy. You can come up with an idea, back test it, forward test it, and trade it live just from your desktop. Super unique. And so, our firm is providing traders with all the capital. You don't bring any capital to our firm. We're providing all the capital. We're taking on all the risk. So if you lose a bunch of money and you walk out the door, that's on us. We're providing you all the resources that you need to find out how good you can be as a trader. So if you want to be great, there's lots of things that go into being great. Maybe we'll talk about some of those things. But you're going to need a lot of capital. You're going to need great technology. You're going to need senior traders around you to bounce ideas off of. You're going to need good coaching and mentoring. You're going to need access to lots of different products. You're going to need access to different strategies. Maybe you had a couple that worked and they're drying up. Well, how do you build some of those others? And so we're providing traders with all those resources, and then we sit back and are patient and supportive. And some of the guys who walk through our doors become just superstar traders.
I want to start by saying, congratulations coming up on 20 years. The other thing I want to say is thank you for starting SMB, because I know for a lot of traders out there, and speaking personally, in times where you're most uncertain, especially in the markets, you sort of reach that Dunning-Kruger area where you realize how much you really don't know. SMB for a lot of traders, myself included, is a bright spot in helping traders get through some of those dark places. What's my strategy? Have I even thought about my strategy? Have I back tested? Am I doing a daily report card? Things like that. Everything that SMB provides helps a lot of traders out there. So I want to say thank you so much for doing all that you do. I know it couldn't have been easy, and that's probably a whole podcast in itself. But thank you for all the work that you do. And on that note, in terms of...
Well, I love hearing that. I love hearing that. And you're welcome. But look, we've been through all the things that retail independent traders go through. We have periods of underperformance, and we've got to help our traders through that. We have periods of drawdown, which are painful, just like everybody else, and we've got to figure stuff out too. And along the way, we've also had this front row seat to observe elite active traders become great and see how they do it based on the learning from us and the foundation that we put in place for them. And so we're able to share with the trading community the things that are working from our great traders and that have worked at our firm.
So many traders, if they're lucky, will get to trade for maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years until they run out of money or realize that it's not maybe for them. And you get to see, trader after trader, entire classes and cohorts. And you really have built up this ability to see what works, how to sort of form a great trader. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that, if it's okay. In your experience, is there sort of an ideal candidate or ideal, trader that sort of comes to your office that you see and you think, okay, this person could be good? Or is it just so independent, case by case, person to person? Is there even an ideal sort of form to start with in terms of a trader?
Yeah, and you've tasked me to think about 10 steps for traders to become great. And the first step is going to be surprising. And I lay out a first step for the trading community to think about, because I don't think everybody appreciates, I don't think everybody thinks about the importance of step number one for us. And, that is, should you really do this? Do you have the attributes to be a successful, elite, active trader? Many people think, if I just work hard, then I will be successful. There's lots of different ways to trade. There's lots of different ways to be successful in finance, but to be an elite active trader, there are attributes that are more important. And so when we are thinking about developing traders into becoming great, and that's what we do here, we're bringing in traders from scratch, and we're teaching them and developing them into becoming great. And at a prop firm, everything's expensive, and the only thing that moves the needle is when we build multiple 7-figure-a-year traders and even 8-figure-a-year traders, and we build stars. That's what helps us continue doing what we do. And so we spend a lot of time thinking about how do we build great traders? That's our business. And so the first thing we got to do is make sure that talented people walk through the doors. One of the reasons why we have a YouTube channel is we want more talented people to walk through the doors. We want people to be inspired by what we're doing. We want people to see how we do things. We want people to want to grow up to be the next great trader on our desk. But we need great, talented people to walk through those doors for us to continue being successful. And so we spend a lot of time thinking about who we want to train, who we want in our internship class. And there are certain attributes that we're looking for, because if you don't have the ability and you're to do the type of trading we're doing, then it's not a good use of our time, and it's not a good use of their time. And so having the ability to process information quickly, that's an attribute that is really helpful to be an elite active trader. I want to see somebody who is trading. You know this. We go to conferences and people come up to you and they come up to me and they say, I really want to become a great trader. I really want to become a professional trader. Give me a chance. You won't regret it. And one of the things that Dr. Steenbarger, who works closely with SMB and was worked even more closely with our guys in the past, he would always say, hey, look, it's so easy to open up a trading account these days. And if you really do want to become a great trader and you really think that this is something you want to do, well, show it. And the way you show it is you've opened up a trading account, you've started trading, you've dabbled in certain strategies, show it. Don't tell us that you really want to be a great trader or that you're really hungry to be a great trader. If you are, you would have done it. You would have started it. The world is such, technology allows us to do things that we really enjoy doing easier than in the past. When I first started trading, I was in law school and I used my phone. I didn't even have a cell phone, by the way. That's dating me. I used my landline phone to call up a broker. This is going to sound crazy to a lot of people. Bear with me. I used my phone to call a broker who I paid a big fee for to buy me a bunch of intel. And so, now it's easier. So you should be able to show your trading. You should be able to, for us, we want to see people who have a demonstrable history of success. You're more likely to be successful at this if you've been successful at things in the past. We do want to see people who are hungry. We want to see people who are resilient. We're gonna test you in certain attributes to see, maybe, do you have a growth mindset? Are you a hard worker? Are you diligent? Will you be a good teammate? So we're going to start there. Are you a good fit for us?
On that note, I've been with you at conferences. People have come up to you with literal charts, binders of their setups to show you what they're working on. So, there's a lot of very hungry, interested people to become traders. It's a very competitive field, I think it's fair to say. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're looking for those people and more, people who are very competitive, people who want to learn, people who want to trade. They know they want to do it. They've shown some skill, in not just trading, but in other areas of just life. Are there certain other things that people do beyond trading that kind of pique your interest or kind of signal to you that they might be a good fit, former athletes or things like that?
Yeah, and so I love what you're saying right there. And so there's a real difference. I've been doing this for a while, and just today, and this isn't that uncommon these days, I was walking out to grab a snack, and there was a trader, a wannabe trader, outside our office who stopped me and said, I've applied to SMB. I didn't get the internship, handed me his resume. How do I get an internship? And wanted to speak with me for 10 minutes. And so I spoke with the young person. And then so this person hands me a resume. And then I've been approached by other people. And I'm thinking of 2 traders right now at our firm who are 7-figure a year traders. These 2 traders pestered me for many months. They wanted a shot at SMB. We met for lunch one day. They walked in and they dropped their playbook that they've developed on the table where we were eating lunch. And it was voluminous and it was detailed, and it clearly showed that they had been trading and that they had been working on their trading and that they had been reviewing their trading and that they were on to some pretty good ideas. And so you're competing against everybody wants to get a job. You're competing against lots of people. How are you going to stand out? And so the people that are doing more detailed work, the people that are trading more, the people that are more intensive with their reviews, those are the people at the top of the stack. And you need to realize that's your competition.
In the world that we live in now, it's a lot easier than ever before, I think, to have really detailed notes. There's software available online where you can, import your trading data from your broker to show your entries, your exits, and you can do all of this work to show people just how much you're doing. So yeah, I can imagine, in 2024, it's a lot more competitive to get a type of job like this than probably ever before. It would seem to me, and again, correct me if I'm wrong there, but it's a packed field, so to speak. So you have to have the attributes as step 1. What's maybe step 2 to building a great trader, becoming a great trader?
Yeah, look, and so Anthony, this is how I'm thinking through how to build a great trader. So we don't profess to have all the answers. This is just based on our work here. So to us, step 2 is a training foundation. So you got to learn everything you need to learn about active trading, stock selection, reading the tape, charts, risk management, how to prepare and review, how to think through trades like a professional, easy setups with edge to trade. So we're going to lay out for you a way to build a very strong foundation from which you can build.
How do you build that? Are there certain resources, for example, that you might give to a newer trader on the desk to have them understand, all of these different facets of the market? For example, reading the tape, a trader can spend a week, a month easily, sort of learning about that and then sort of leveling up. There's so many different aspects. How do you go about building that certain component of that step for a newer trader or someone who's, trying to level up their trading?
To build a strong foundation, our interns and our developing traders are going to take SMB DNA. That is our training course that we've developed over the course of many, many years, and we update it every year. This is a summer session, and our head of trader development and myself and some traders from our desk have been working pretty hard on the next iteration of SMB DNA and making that even better. And so you take SME DNA, and then also SME DNA is supplemented by a whole mess of meetings that we're holding throughout the week. So every day there's an AM meeting with Steve Spencer to help people improve their stock selection. Every day or 4 days a week, there's a trader development meeting at 11 a.m. where our head of trader development is going over the best setups from the morning and illuminating entries and exits that are optimal. We have reading the tape sessions scheduled throughout the week. I do once a week a meeting on the Playbook. The Playbook was the second book that I wrote. One Good Trade is the first book I wrote. The second book I wrote is the Playbook. And so I teach traders how to do a playbook trade, which essentially is how you build your trading business. Your trading business is a series of playbook trades that make a lot of sense to you and that work, that go into you building your business. We have a mentoring session, which we call office hours. Traders can just come and ask questions. We have a mentoring session for swing trading that one of our traders runs. There's another meeting that Max Ganick runs on zero DTE options, and Max is really one of the great new star traders there is in our space, a mid seven-figure-a-year trader. I think one of these days just might be the best trader on our desk. And that's saying a lot, since we have traders who have made 8 figures a year, near $20 million in a year during multiple years. And I think Max just might be one day the best. And so he teaches class, and then we teach a class on income options that our head of options runs, Seth Freudberg. And then there's something we call easy money trades, which our floor manager and risk manager runs, where we go over simple trades that have a lot of edge from the week that our guys took that really worked. And so we're supplementing our training course with meetings that help people build skill and learn.
Having done it myself, when you start trading, you want to just click buttons. You don't realize just how much there is to the market, how much that there is to understand about it. And having a strong foundation could only help in one of the hardest, things there is to do, which is to extract money from the markets. One thing that I wanted to note as well, Mike, is that, your traders on your desk are supplementing, as you said, what they're doing throughout the day. They're not stagnant at the desk just looking at charts and they're doing that market open to market close. They're actually going to meetings, attending, absorbing new information, dynamic information.
Let me expand on what you just said. And so we do hire experienced traders at our firm. If you have a track record and you want capital and better technology and an environment where people are sharing ideas and access to new strategies, exposure to new strategies that maybe you can try and research from the street, you can reach out to us and apply. We've been fortunate that lots of people have sought a seat on our desk who are experienced traders. One of the things that we've recognized is that while we have had experienced traders succeed at our firm, and I didn't really understand this for a while, the best traders at our firm have always been our homegrown, taught from scratch traders. And this is New York City. I'm broadcasting from New York City, where if I look to my right, it's Rockefeller Center. We're dead smack in the middle of New York City. This is Midtown East. And New York is home to many great traders. Traders move around. So we've had a lot of look at lots of resumes from people who trade here in New York City. And for a while, I didn't understand why people who just made a gazillion dollars weren't matriculating into our firm, and why my job wasn't just as easy as hiring those people and turning the lights on, as opposed to all the real hard work that goes into developing a trader, all those G chats and talks and teaching and videos. It's a lot of hard work. Rewarding though when it works. But I think one of the reasons why our homegrown traders have been more successful than the experienced guys is because of the culture that we build here. And what's important to the culture is guys trying to get better every day. So even our 8-figure-a-year traders, they're trying to get better every day. They have a daily routine that they're going through that helps them to improve. They've been given a foundation which they've built upon that helps them develop trades that have great risk-reward attributes. They know how to think through trades so that their risk-reward is particularly favorable. They know how to build new strategies because they've learned how to build them. They have trading skills, particularly reading the tape skills. Their entries and their exits are just superior to traders who don't, where they can do more. They can put on more trades. They can put on more trades with size. Their returns their equity curves are better. And so, to your point, those skills and that mindset of trying to get better every day has been super important for us.
That growth mindset, I would think, would continuously just inspire even, top level, great elite traders to continuously strive to be even better, right? Knowing that you've got these younger traders on the desk who are hungry to succeed, do you notice that they constantly still push even the veteran traders to do well, to do better? Is that sort of all built into the culture at the firm?
One of the things that's unique about our firm is that technology is super important to us. And we say this to the newer guys. You don't have to be an 8-figure-a-year trader to make a huge contribution to our firm. There's lots of great ways. There's lots of ways for you to be great. And there's actually a mural that sits on our walls that was inspired by Dr. Steenbarger. And it says, "You're meant to do something great." And I remember the genesis of that mural. And I remember sitting in a conference room with Dr. Steenbarger and junior traders and a star senior trader, our floor manager, our head of trader development, all in a conference room. We were at a different location at the time. And a junior trader had just gone through his monthly review and confessed that he didn't do as well as he should have and didn't do as well as he wanted to, and was explaining why. And Dr. Steenbarger sat there listening. And finally, he just asked the trader to stop. And he looked around the room and caught everybody's eyes and caught the attention of everybody in the room and was silent. And we're all looking at him. And he put his fists together and he said, "You're meant to do something great. It's not good enough to be good. It's not good enough to come and sit here during your monthly review and say, I could have done better. You need to sit here and do better because you're meant to do something great." And so those young guys, though, are not limited to doing something great just from P&L. Yes, they should go strive to be 7 and 8 figure a year traders. Yes, they should strive to be consistently profitable traders and be as good as they can be. But they can also be super helpful building an alert for a senior trader because we have technology. They can do a back test that turns into a profitable model with the senior trader. They can build scripts that helps people play more offense for a senior trader. And so, and those junior traders, it doesn't even have to be with technology. It can be in other ways. They can generate an idea and share it with the senior trader. Maybe they and a senior trader team up to build a joint account where the junior trader is offering idea generation, the senior trader's doing the execution. And so that those young guys have all these different ways to be great and can work hard in ways that don't necessarily have to be pushing the buttons. And the senior guys do see that. And it is energizing to see the younger guys pushing to make money that these guys remember they were trying to make. It's energizing.
That's inspiring to even listen to. I love to hear about traders working together in this way to help one another and do better in the markets. Because those young guys will remember this, and that's just the start maybe of their trading journey, and they're already working at this really high level. It's inspiring to hear about things like this. Mike, what's the third step to creating a great trader?
We've gone through, do you have the attributes? Give that some consideration. Step 2, you want to have a solid trading foundation. For us, step 3 is exposure to trading setups with edge from our prop desk. So we're going to teach our traders trades that our traders are taking daily and consistently making money in, and put them in front of them and say, hey, this is what is working in this present market regime. And then we're going to, of course, have the trades that have worked in the past that you need to learn. And we're going to be teaching those trades to traders in what we call variables. And so maybe we'll teach a breakout trade, but we're going to teach a breakout trade in a very specific way with specific variables. Maybe we're going to teach a fade trade, but we're going to teach a fade trade with very specific variables that have worked in the past with our traders. We'll teach people a backside trade, but again, we're going to be specific and we're going to variabilize. We kind of made up that word. I think I made up that word, variabilize. I'm not sure it is a word. We're going to variabilize. We're going to deconstruct the elements of a successful trade, and we'll lay that curriculum out for the traders. One of our traders, Dan G., who has gone on to become a huge producer, he actually talked one time at Traders for a Cause and did a terrific job about how you actually build trading strategies profitably. Dan G. is a huge proponent of saying to the younger guys at the desk, go find the people out there on the desk who are making money and decode those strategies and try and build your playbook off of those strategies. So that's step 3 for us. Exposure to trading setups with edge from the prop desk. And then I'll tell you step 4, because I know you're going to ask me step 4. And I think step 4 is important too. It's important for us and it's important for traders. So we have lots of people who come through our internship program, and we get a look at traders. The interns are going to go through SMB DNA, and they're going to go through the winning trader. And then we're going to ask, as we're trying to build great traders, is this the right firm for the trader? Does the trader enjoy active trading? Will the trader do the work required to become an elite trader? Does the trader stand out and exhibit trading talent? Are we seeing some of that talent peek through? Does the trader fit into our culture? And the trader should be evaluating us at the same time as well, and they should be asking, is this the type of trading I want to do? Is this the firm I want to do it at? I can't remember the last trader who we offered an invitation to. It's going to happen. I should knock on wood. I can't remember the last trader we offered an invitation to who declined. But I will say to the interns before they leave, you should think about, is this the type of trading you want to be doing? Is this the firm you want to be doing it at? Can you see yourself in 10 years being elite? And it's okay if this isn't what you want to be doing, or you don't want to be doing it here, or it's not the type of trading you want. That's okay too. But that's for us. Step 4: is this the right firm for?
I think that's important too, because it's not just about making money, right? It's about the fit, and traders go through this as well when they're trying to figure out what their trading strategy is, right? Understanding if it's the right type of trade that they're going to be interested in. If you're not interested in trading penny stocks or, small cap type of stocks, then maybe that's just not going to be the right fit for you. So I understand this, in that context as well. And it's actually nice to hear that you're evaluating sort of the longevity of the trader at the firm, because it could not work out in a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, something like that.
There are certain traders there are certain people who we start to sense would be better analysts. They're super smart, they're super talented, but we just don't believe they're going to be able to push the buttons in real time. We don't believe that's their talent. And, we will have a conversation with them and say, you've got a lot to offer to the world of finance. If we don't have a spot for them on a team to contribute as an analyst, we'll say, hey, let's start to think about maybe a global macro fund that you can start reaching out to, and let's get you set up with some interviews there. That's an example of something that can happen with some of the interns that we train.
If you're looking for ways to take your trading to the next level, Investors Underground might be able to help. You'll have access to courses and mentors to learn from, some of the best technology available for scanning stocks and breaking news, and access to the chat rooms, where you'll find a vibrant community of focused traders who share their trade ideas in real time each day. Members also have access to the morning broadcasts, where moderators and members of the community share their trade ideas each day during the pre-market session. Members have access to the midday discussion sessions with Stan, the midweek study sessions with Sam, webinars, moderator watch lists, and all the other resources that Investors Underground has to offer. Listeners of the Trader's Journey can access exclusive membership deals available at investorsunderground.com/journey. And now, back to our episode with Mike Bellafiore. That's impressive, and I think it's great to find that out sooner than later. So, Mike, moving on to step 5. What then would be step 5 to building a great trader?
All right, caveat again, this is my perspective. So step 5, develop a daily routine filled with effective best practices that build trading skill and edge. So for us, there are certain things we want our traders doing every day as they're developing. We want them to do a daily report card. We want them to do a playbook trade each trading session. We want them to do trader view. That's where they're measuring their trading results. The highlight reel, which is our term for how we get better at reading the tape. Easy money trades. Let's deconstruct simple trades that really worked really quickly, that are easy to understand. Collaborate. How are you working together with others? Build technology. A book of charts. Go find setups that really worked, mark up the charts, save them, archive them, keep them, review them. A daily journal. Bringing your best you to trading sessions. For us, that means a focus on mindfulness, exercise, sleep, and diet. We think It's super important to obviously trade setups with edge. If you trade setups that do not have edge, if you put on trades that do not have edge, you can meditate 2 hours a day, you're going to lose money. If you put on setups that do not have edge, you can have the best diet in the world, you're not going to make money. You can exercise 3 hours a day, you're going to lose money. But when you are trading setups with edge, bringing your best you to trading sessions does improve your overall edge. It does allow you to make more money. And so we're going to ask people to individualize a daily routine, but that daily routine is what drives that's what drives performance. That's what drives skill development. And if traders will embrace that process and be patient, then that's going to give them a good chance to get better.
Mike, there might be someone out there who's wondering or asking to themselves or thinking, this sounds like a lot of work, a lot of extra work. You don't just show up, find the stock that's gapped 110% and just buy that on a pullback. This sounds like a lot of work. How much work does it take, to put into your routine, to perfect your diet, to make sure you're sleeping enough?
I don't think it's a lot of work. If you're doing something that you enjoy, it's not going to be work to you. And so if you feel like this is a lot of work, that's a lot of information that, hey, maybe this isn't something for you, which is fine. But, when we talk about building a daily routine, we're very clear that we want that routine to be filled with effective best practices that drive trading skill and performance. We don't want you just working for the sake of working. We don't want you putting in hours just to put in hours. We want you to be doing the things that actually move the needle, doing the things that help you enter and exit better and have more edge. The things that I mentioned are things that our traders have utilized over the years that have moved the needle, that have improved performance. We've had others. We've tried others. There are others that we ask people to do, which we don't ask them to do anymore because they weren't as effective, because it wasn't a good return on investment for some of the stuff that they do. Like, for instance, the highlight reel is a better version of how we used to teach people how to read the tape in the past. We used to just bring people into a room, and Shark and Swang and some of the great traders of the firm can attest to this. We would bring them in the room and we would just watch 45 minutes of the open in a couple of different stocks, and I would just sit there and say, that's important, that's not important, that's important, that's very important, that's less important. And we would just sit there for 45 minutes and just get better at reading the tape. Now we condense tape into 5 and 10 minute chunks, and we watch significant moves that stocks make and what the tape looks like. And that's a better way, a better use of your time than the way I used to do it, but we learned. And so, we're always getting better too.
I was going to make that point. I love the idea that you're still looking for ways to optimize what you do. You're not just sort of resting on laurels. This has created great traders. We're going to keep doing it until we find the next great trader. You're constantly evolving, which I think is great. And traders have to do the same thing.
Look, it's important to us. And we, I told this story to the interns today. And I prefaced it by saying, I actually think I should do all of my future coaching by sharing stories of my son and I working to help him get better at baseball. I think I can condense all of the things that I know now into baseball lessons with my son. And so my son really loves baseball. And to your point about, is this a lot of work? I mean, my son will go practice. This just happened yesterday. We practiced. he went to swim practice, and after swim practice, he asked if we could go to the field again and hit. And so when you're doing something you really love, you just want to do more of it. And if anyone's ever, I played a lot of basketball when I was younger too, and if you remember playing a lot of basketball, if you really love basketball, it's not a lot of work to shoot 300 shots a day. It feels great. You feel like you're in the right place. And so I'm practicing with my son, and I think this is a part. This is it's not just a part of our culture. It's what Steve and I really believe. Like, this is who we really are. So my son and I are out practicing, and he's one of the positions he plays is he's a pitcher, and we do long toss exercises to help him build up his arm strength in the off season so he can throw harder during the season. This is an effective best practice that a baseball player will use to become a better pitcher. Now, I wanted to make the long toss exercise for my son even more effective, so I went and I took a course that was taught by Driveline, which gave me better ideas on how to have a more constructive long toss session with my son. And they had some really good ideas, things that I didn't know. And I grew up playing baseball and I played at a high level, so I know how to do this. I already knew how to do this. But this helped me to help him do this better. And so, and we do that with our training here. And so the daily report card is a better way, a more specific way to review your performance than a long form journal. And the playbook is a better way than for you to just review all of your trades. And so it's effective best practices.
If you have this idea of getting better every day and finding ways to optimize, it can go further than just your trading. It can move over into other areas of your life, which I think is actually really important to be able to do. What is the next step that you've found to help create a great trader?
So step 6 is to build your playbook. So you want to build your playbook with your trading edge, but then you want to be more specific and you want to be more targeted. You want to build your playbook with your trading edge that aligns with your unique talents and abilities. And I wrote this the other day on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it Twitter. I'm old enough to remember when X was Twitter.
Me too.
I wrote this on Twitter, and there were a bunch of hucksters who were giving me a hard time about saying this. And I can just tell you that our experience is you need to do it. Dr. Steenbarger has written extensively about this. He coaches top hedge fund traders and institutional traders. And he's a big proponent of not just being exposed to edge, but making sure that that edge taps into your unique talents and abilities. And so we encourage, look, there's a lot of different ways people make money here at SMB. There's a lot of different strategies that are deployed throughout markets. Some traders trade breaking news strategies, other traders are more scalpers, some traders are more into options volatility, some traders love momentum trades. There's a lot of different, some people just crush it trading backside trades. There's a lot of different ways to make money as active traders. But they're not all doing the same thing. And they're all focusing on what they do best. And what they do best depends on their talents. And so, for us, we ask our traders to think about what setups make the most sense to them. What setups are you having the most success with? What setups do you enjoy trading the most? That was pretty fun, making a breaking news trade. That CPI print came out. I pressed the buttons. I game planned before it. That was fun. I like that. That's a lot of information for you. That backside trade, I put on the short. Man, I lost more money than I thought. That was no fun. Maybe that's a lot of information for somebody else. What setups align best with your unique talents and abilities? And we're asking people to think about that, and they're building their playbook. And for those of you who haven't read the playbook, we're breaking down trades into the big picture, intraday fundamentals, stock selection, technical analysis, trade strategy, risk management, trade management, reading the tape, technology, review. Those are the ways that we're asking people to categorize and build a playbook. The reason why traders tend to underperform is that they're not specific enough with their trades. They're not specific about when to take the trade. They're not specific enough about how much risk to put on, where their entry is, where their stop is, where their target is. They haven't, and when they don't do that, then they can't study as well certain types of trades. So we can say trade breakouts, and one person may trade breakouts and not be specific and not study and walk away with negative results, and then they'll say, oh man, breakout trades don't work. That's just another example of me being caught down the rabbit hole of some furu. And then there's another trader B will sit there and they'll say, all right, these breakout trades work. I'm going to deconstruct them. I'm going to then even tweak them even more and make them my own. And then I'm going to study that. I'm going to study that subset of breakout trades, and I'm going to see how I do. And so that's a better way. It's a much better way to be going about trading. And so the playbook, and then I think the other thing a playbook does is that it helps traders. So look, it depends on how you trade. And so some people are pretty consistent traders. They tend to be more scalpers. They're pretty consistent on the month. And then we have lots of traders here who are heavy hitters. And they're traders whose month, how much they make on the month, is determined by trade opportunities. And so, if the month doesn't offer a lot of trade opportunities, they'll make money. They'll make good money, but they're not going to make great money. And so the playbook for these elite traders and for the big hitters helps them to identify their A-plus trades. It helps them to identify the exact variables that need to be present for their A-plus setups. They study those setups, and when they study them and they're specific about them, they internalize those trades. And so in real time, they don't need to be thinking, hey, is this a trade I need to put on a lot of risk for? They've internalized that they are the type of trader who puts on size with this trade. This is what they do. I'm a big game hunter. I hunt this. I see this in my crosshairs. It's time to go for it. There's a mural that sits on the walls of SMB that speaks to this, which says, when you see it, swing the bat hard. What that means to us is know your A-plus setups, and when you see your A-plus setups, swing the bat hard, put on a lot of risk. And at our firm, as supportive as we are, you're going to get a hard time from us when you miss your A-plus trades. It's not acceptable at this firm to miss your A-plus trades. It's not acceptable at this firm, at SMB, not to put on the risk that you're supposed to put on your A-plus trades. That's what we're here for. We will accept lots of periods of underperformance, but not when your A-plus trades are present.
If a trader applies to SMB and they don't have a playbook, what is the general response that they would get back?
So when you're an experienced trader, we're going to ask you to send us a business plan. And the business plan doesn't have to show trades in playbook form, but they're going to ask you to share with us your trading strategies, what they are, we're not asking for your secret sauce. Keep your secret sauce. But we are asking you, hey, how do you make money? How do you find those trades? What's your risk on those trades? What's your plan to improve as a trader? Where do you think you can be in the next 5 years? All right, you need some more resources. If you have those resources, where are we going to go with this? So we will ask you to develop a business plan if you're coming into the firm as an experienced trader. And then as a new hire, if you go through our internship program, by the end of your senior internship, we are going to want to see your playbook. If you do not have a playbook, look, one of the things you need to be doing when you're going through a junior internship and senior internship at SMB is doing a playbook trade every day. And so if you don't have one at the end of that, that's probably not a good sign.
Mike, what would be step 7 then to create a great trader?
All right, step 7, team trading and collaborate to improve and refine your trading edge. There are a lot of different ways that you can collaborate at a prop firm. And one of the huge value adds for a retail and independent trader joining a prop firm is the ability to collaborate with other traders, other senior traders who have edge, other junior traders who are working on different stuff. So look, there's different ways to collaborate. You might be really good at calling out certain trades getting ready to break out. You might be really good at coding to help a senior trader. You might be a really good back tester. You might be really good at one strategy that another trader is not. There's lots of different ways to collaborate. We're all connected on our desk via Teams. There's a senior trader who's made a lot of money who runs a team. There are other traders on that team, and they're communicating via voice chat throughout the day. And just in that voice chat, we could really talk for 3 days on the power of collaboration, how we do it here, and what you get out of it, the value you get out of it. I'll just temper my remarks to the trading value from an audio chat. I had a conversation with 3 traders yesterday. I said, look, tell me the value you're getting from your audio chat. These guys do it the best at the firm. Nobody does it better. They're on this audio chat all day long. One of the guys is in New York. 2 of the guys are in Florida. The guy in New York's talking all the time. I see it. I hear it. I wonder what the heck they're talking about sometimes. How could they possibly be talking all day long? They're just talking all day long. They're just sharing ideas, yucking it up a little bit, sharing ideas, yucking it up a little bit. They're always at it. And so I said, look, I gotta learn a little bit more here about what the value these guys are getting. And so they broke it down into these things. So for them, the trading value from an audio chat was it makes trading more fun. There's slow periods during the day. They like yucking it up. That helps them. Improves their trade selectivity. When you've got to shout out a trade you're making and there are other people on a call, you can't do stupid things as much. It introduces different points of view on a trade. You call out a trade you're thinking about making. Somebody says, hey, wait a second, you're not thinking about this. It makes for better trade decisions. It helps them cover more trades. 5 sets of eyes is better than 1. It gives them support. Trading's hard. There's ups and downs. There's periods of drawdown. Yes, Anthony, we do experience losing trades at this firm. I know that nobody on Twitter has ever had a losing trade. I know nobody on Twitter has ever had a drawdown. Unfortunately, we're not good enough to be on Twitter because we do experience lots of losses and we do experience drawdown. That's true of even our 7 and 8 figure year traders. So support, emotional support, having somebody who understands what it's like to trade great for 4 days during a week and then in the last 2 hours just put a ton of risk on a good idea and it just not work out and you've lost money for the whole week. having somebody to talk to about what that's like, that's a huge thing. And so, yeah, a very much underrated element you need in your trading career to succeed, the support of other people. Increase risk taking. All right, you're on a call with 7-figure traders. You don't want to be the knucklehead when you've all called out the A+ trade and they made 50 and you made 5. You don't want to be that guy. Accountability to your process. Again, other guys know what your kryptonite is. They know where you slip up. They're going to call you. They're going to remind you, hey, that's your kryptonite. You don't make those trades well. I'll make it simple. You're not good on the short side. There's actually one trader we have at our firm who's a great trader. He's great on the long side. He's not good on the short side. He'll get called out by people on a call. Remember, you're not that good trading on the short side. Do what you do. Just get long. And then finally, exposure to other trading strategies that other guys on the call are going to have. And so that's just the value you get from an audio chat.
If you're doing breaking news, it's, I would imagine, a lot more useful to have a voice chat than sit there typing about, 3 different things that might happen based on this breaking news play. So all points very well taken there. So Mike, sort of related to that, and I know you're not necessarily in the retail trader space, but do you have any ideas for how traders in the retail space might be able to find a pod that works for them or a team?
So you're right. I'm not in the retail independent trader space. So, I don't know exactly how you would go about doing that. I can say to you that at the one Lance B, who I know has written about this and done a video about this. And maybe we can put a link into a video that he's done on this. But I've just found over the years that people in the trading space are very generous, and that it's a good best practice to be reaching out to other people and learning more about what they do and how they trade. I saw a tweet recently from the Short Bear, and he was talking about how he puts out a lot of stuff. He's one of the great retail traders, independent traders out there. He puts out lots of free information on how he thinks through trades and the trades that he makes. And he commented recently that he's surprised as to who comments on what he puts out there on his trading strategies. And he's surprised that the people that tend to comment the most are the other great traders that he knows. The people that find the most value in the trading knowledge he's sharing are the other great traders that everybody knows is great in the retail independent space. I started SMB. I reached out to a lot of people. You'd be surprised how many people write back. Some people won't. That's okay. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they don't want to talk to you. That's fine. There's no harm in trying. But you want to build a network, and you build a network by writing emails, tweeting at people. I don't DM, but I think people DM. You have to make a habit of reaching out to other people and expanding that network of yours. I do it. I know a lot of other people do it too.
Mike, what's the 8th and 9th step to becoming a great trader?
So step 8, size your trading edge. As we mentioned, a mantra at SMB, when you see it, swing the bat hard. After you've developed edge, you do need to spend time sizing that trading edge. And then step 9 is to build a broader and more comprehensive playbook. So you want to experiment with new strategies once you've built. I think a lot of times I personally get frustrated when people on our desk feel like they don't want to collaborate with other people. I get frustrated when people apply to our firm and they're secretive about their edge, as if they've developed some secret sauce. Like, there are certain trades that shouldn't be shared. I call them inefficiency trades. There are certain trades that I will not talk about, that I know work at the firm, that I just will never say them publicly, because they are inefficiency trades. There is a limit to capacity. I respect the traders who've built those edges. I will not say anything about them. But everything else, in my opinion, is not secret sauce. And if you shared it with somebody else, you could probably do it better. You could do it more often. You can do it in other ways. And so you know, I get frustrated when people don't share, because what you're giving up is other people sharing back with you as to what these new strategies are, and that leaves you with a limited playbook and creates danger for you to one day be the experienced trader whose edge is drying up. And I get a lot of emails from experienced traders who say, my edge is drying up, can you help? And so don't be that person. And then I would say step 10, this is a very advanced concept. This is for the better traders. This is for when you're more mature. Express your trades better to improve edge. And for us, that means, hey, maybe you trade equities, think about adding options. Maybe, at a certain point, putting on a momentum trade or a breakout trade, it's not best just to get long stock. That may not be the best way to express that trade. It may be better to express that trade with options. It may be better to express that trade with options in stock. It may be better to express that trade with stock and a hedge with options. And so as you get more sophisticated, your trade strategy, your expression of trade needs to get more sophisticated as well. And remember, we're a technology firm as well. And so you can also express your trades better by putting on some discretionary trades and putting on some automated trades, even in similar strategies. And so we're going to push the buttons with discretion. We're going to have scripts, which automatically get us into trades. We may have automated trading strategies, all within the same strategy. And so to me, I think there's 4 sources of edge. The trade setup is the most important source of edge. Another way to improve your edge, as we talked about, is bring your best you to trading markets. Another source of edge is how you express that trade. You can make a lot more money expressing it in a more sophisticated way than you can with certain types of trades. And I think the fourth source of edge, and super important, we could probably do a whole podcast on this, super important for active traders to understand, retail, independent, and professional prop traders, is structural edge. We can get in and out of markets, in and out of trades way faster than lots of other participants. That structural edge is the highest form of edge. It's a higher form of edge than even trading strategy edge. And we need to use it. We can go from long to flat to short in the click of a button. Hedge fund traders, institutional traders, it may take them days to be able to unravel their positions. They can't do what we can do. And since we can get in and out, be long, be flat, be short, we need to make sure that we're not the knucklehead sitting there saying, no, I'm right on this trade. It's now against me 3%. I'm going to buy more. you're an active trader. You can get out and start over again. Other people can't do that. Use it. Use that advantage. It's super valuable. You can always get back into the trade. And so that fourth source of edge is that structural edge.
Mike, thank you so much for walking through those 10 steps to create a great trader, start to finish. I really, really appreciate it. I think there's a lot that traders can learn and the audience can learn from this episode. So I just want to say thank you so much for talking with me today. There's a lot, and I can't wait for people to hear it and really think about this in their own trading.
Anthony, when am I going to see you again?
I'll see you at Traders for a Cause, Mike. I believe you're going to be speaking. I just saw some news that Max will be there. Ganik speaking as well.
Max will be speaking. Max is a really, really great trader, really top level trader. And as I said before, I think he might become one day, he'll be gunning for the top traders at the desk.
And I've seen him in the SMB videos, and he's been on my radar. So I'm really looking forward to his trajectory and hearing him speak. And maybe one day you'll let me interview him on the podcast at some point.
Maybe. We'll see.
And Mike, if it's okay with you, I'd love to go through sort of a quick quasi lightning round set of questions, if that's okay with you.
Shoot.
Do you believe there's one skill that traders should rank above all others in terms of becoming great?
Yes, for active trading, and that's reading the tape.
Are there any specific indicators that you find the traders on the desk tend to use, whether that's a moving average or something like that?
Sure. RVOL is an indicator that probably almost every trader on our desk uses. It helps to identify and confirm a stock really is in play.
Do you tend to suggest traders use hard stops or mental stops, or does it depend on the trader?
It depends on the trader. We have some traders who engage in dynamic risk taking, which means they're constantly evaluating their risk. And we have other traders that will use hard stops. I myself use hard stops.
If a trader is going through a drawdown or is feeling less confident than they normally do, what is some advice that they might receive from the desk or those around them?
Usually they have to change their trading strategy. And so we don't spend a lot of time when traders are in a serious drawdown, sitting around a conference table, patting them in the back, telling them that everything's going to be okay. Our coaching is not, pick your head up, there are better days ahead, just keep doing what you're doing as you've now drawn down $1.5 million. We are very specific about changes that need to be made, entry and exit strategies that need to be considered, a change in the setups that they're taking, a change in what they're focusing on for the types of trades that they're taking and how they're leaning. But now at a prop firm, we're being very specific about changes that are required. For instance, and we have traders, I wrote about our elite traders, trader kryptonite, in a recent, I think it was a LinkedIn post. And all of our top traders have their kryptonite. They all do certain things really poorly at times, and they have to stay away from them. And one of our traders overutilizes an options hedging strategy when he's not trading as well as he does. And we'll have to say to him, this is not the time for you to be overusing your options hedging strategies. And so, yeah, even the elite traders have their kryptonite.
If you could give yourself one piece of advice at the start of creating SMB Capital, what advice do you think you would give to your younger self about that venture? And do you think you would listen to it?
That's such a good question. I think it's just, you have to be patient. It just takes time just like it takes time to be a good trader. It takes time to learn how to run a trading firm. I was very open about this. When we first started SMB, we did a terrific job building a bunch of upper middle class traders and teaching them in a very specific way. And then this is a lightning round, isn't it? This is me.
That's fine.
This is me. This is me answering quickly. And so
it's only the most important part of your life. So
we worked really hard from 2005 to I think like 2011, and we did a really good job with the resources we had building out upper middle class traders, and lots of them left. The market got really bad, and our traders were poached by people I vociferously hate to this day. Kidding. Although I'm not really kidding, who poached our traders, and what we learned, and we lost too many of those traders, and we had to start over again. Not start over again, but we had to rebuild from where we're at. And what we learned was we needed better resources for our traders. We needed more resources at the firm so that our traders never would be tempted to go anywhere else after we'd spent so much time building them into consistently profitable traders and better. And so it just took us some time to learn how to run the business, how to do it, and learn the resources that really were necessary to make sure everybody stayed.
What's the most rewarding part of the work that you do building elite traders?
Well, that's easy. You watch somebody come in when they're in college and watch them grow into somebody who really becomes a great trader. And that's not because they're rich. It's just because you remember the first interview you had with them while they were in college and them telling you this is what they wanted to do and this was their dream job and how hungry they were to do this. And then just to pass them on the desk one day and to see that they are a successful, consistently profitable, and better professional trader doing what they said they wanted to do and doing what they really love to do. It's like watching one of your kids succeed. You know, for those of you who are parents, it's like watching one of your kids succeed at something that's important to them. It brings a lot of joy to yourself. That's pretty cool.
When you wrote the playbook, when you wrote One Good Trade, did you think they would be as popular as they eventually became?
Of course. Absolutely not. And I didn't know how many people would reach out to me from all over the world who have found these books, my work, to be helpful to them. That brings me a lot of joy. And I'm grateful that for whatever reason, the work that we put out there has been able to help people doing something that's important to them.
Mike, for those listening who would love to learn more about you or SMB Capital, how can they do so?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter, on X, at Mike Bellafiore. You can find SMB Capital at SMB Capital. You can really find us on our YouTube channel, SMB Capital YouTube channel. We put out videos for the trading community every week. We put long form videos out. Now we're doing shorts. We're learning the short game, the short video game. I don't know if you've learned that and mastered that. That's a whole new game. So we do that. We're just sharing what we're learning on the desk and presenting that to the public to help you guys. And then my email is mbellafiore@smbcap.com.
Everybody listening and watching, I highly, highly recommend checking out what Mike does, what SMB does. It's just some of the best trading advice that you can get. These are professionals who do this every day. This is how they make their money. So it's definitely worth your time, your energy, and your focus. Mike, thank you so much for being here and doing this episode with me. It's been an absolute honor to get to speak with you. It's a pleasure to get to see you and talk to you again. So Thank you so
No,
much.
and Anthony, I mean this. I get a lot of invitations to do these podcasts, and I say no to most of them. And so when it was suggested I talk with you, you're one of the few people that I'll make the time for. And I've always enjoyed getting to know you better. I remember walking around the streets of Chicago, chatting, trading up with you. And I remember actually, by the way, telling you that I did not want to start a podcast talking about my background. So apparently you weren't listening. And I remember meeting you at Traders for a Cause, and always enjoy interacting with you and being around you. And you're one of my favorite people in the trading space, and always rooting for you. And great to see you doing such great work here.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of The Trader's Journey. We have additional episodes we believe you might also like, so don't forget to subscribe. You'll be notified of upcoming episodes the moment they're published. Thanks for tuning in.